Oh, we're live. We are live. There's 2 people here already. How did that happen?
Wow.
That's fast.
That
Okay.
is fast.
So we'll wait till some more people get here. Do you have what you need?
Not yet. I'm working on it.
Okay. So I will dance for the people,
Okay.
and hope they show up. Live stream number 3 is here. This is the December number 3. This is the 2018 December live stream. And this is Bree. This is Jamie. What's up, man? This is Tim. Nice to see you, brother. Cats will not be making an appearance because the door is closed. So I'm sorry. If you want to go ahead and leave, I understand. This is video a thank you, a fond farewell. So guys, this is Bree. Bree is a huge, if you've seen the past 2 live streams, Bree is a huge part of this channel. And though she is not necessarily in the videos, like in front of the camera, she is a huge supporting, what's the word I'm looking for? Your huge support behind the scenes. Like most videos go through you first. Your opinions, your whatever. So
I'm very important.
Tim wants to know if you've ever considered doing cat videos.
Oh. I mean, I've thought about it, but our cats are very...
It's Tanya's here. Cyberdrone's here.
Cats.
Nice. What? Was that okay?
No, I was saying our cats are so, like, independent. And I mean, all cats are, but very strong-willed.
Yeah.
Doing a video with them, I think, would be challenging.
You could, though. You should. The bottom line is that maybe. Hey, Tanya, hi. TL from Yorkshire. So this is the December live stream. Have you been able to pull up anything yet? Trying to get the producer aspect going. You know, live stream number 2, Bree was such a, as always, she helps produce these. And so instead of having her produce from off camera, you got it?
Yeah.
Instead of producing from off camera, I thought it'd be so much easier to just have her be able to produce on camera, bounce ideas off of myself. Like I was talking about the Christopher Nolan thing in that video, which I'm so sorry that I offended people with my Christopher Nolan frank talk, my real talk about Christopher Nolan. But you like Christopher Nolan. You think he's... Yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
I do
It's
like
fine.
him. I do like him. I don't have as strong opinions about him like you do.
Apparently it's freezing in Yorkshire at the moment. That's why you need some Yorkshire tea to warm you up. That stuff is like hair on the chest, man. And I guess that's not appealing for women. You probably wouldn't want that. But like that Yorkshire tea, man, it is like, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jamie wants to know if you've seen the new Avengers trailer.
Yes, I have seen the new. We watched it together. Looks good. Looks very good. Was there more to it than that? I think I was just like, no, we talked about it because we watched it. Yeah, I was just like, woo.
Yeah.
Like sign me up. I think the Avengers trailer is better than the second Captain Marvel trailer, which doesn't, the first one had me more interested. I feel like the second Captain Marvel trailer was more action oriented. And I don't know, it didn't hit me quite as hard as the first one did. But I'm in for both of those. I'm in for anything that Marvel does. Yorkshire puddings. Yeah. Sorry. Oh, could Ant-Man be a Skrull? Boy, I hope not. I hope not. And if he is a Skrull, is the real Ant-Man somewhere? I would feel like the rug... I never thought about that. I was like, no. Like, if he is a Skrull, then there has to be the real Ant-Man out there somewhere, right? Because... doesn't there? But they're going to need Skrulls, right? They're good. Oh. He might very well be. Oh, man. Maybe. Guys, I want to take a minute. I got a gift the other day. I want to stop for a second. Someone sent cereal at midnight, a present. It was Ross. I don't know that Ross is here, but Ross E. I don't know if he wants me saying his last name, but he sent me a Christmas present, and I did open it just to make sure that it was not like underwear or something that I could show on the channel. But he had a very lovely note attached to this, which I've read and was very cool. And he sent me for Christmas, us, he sent Cereal at Midnight, because Bree is like a 50% silent partner on Cereal at Midnight, sent me the Criterion Night of the Living Dead Blu-ray. So now I have, I think, 5 Criterion Collection Blu-rays. So that was super cool, and I wanted to just say thank you to Ross up front. I also picked something up. I had kind of teased this in the Mill Creek video that seems to be doing pretty well. I said I picked up another one of the Shadowbox collections. So I'm going to talk about this briefly here and nowhere else. This is just for you guys for showing up to the live stream. But, ooh, it's dusty. It's cat hair. The cats have made an appearance. It's the Shadowbox collection in a time of war. In a time of war. And it is a 50 DVD set on the history of America's involvement in war. Documentary series. These are not movies, these are documentaries. So it starts with the Revolutionary War, the Great Indian Wars, the Civil War, which is what I'm watching a documentary about right now, World War I, World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, the Gulf War, the Iraq War, and Afghanistan. And the last, I think it's the last 2 DVDs in the set are about snipers throughout American history. And I was like, ooh, 1812, man, I think so. I think so. So it's, as always, like here, it's the sleeves, the paper sleeves. So, it's 189 hours. So I'm 1 hour in, but you know what? That's a start, right? So, I wanted to share that with you guys because I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'll probably, if I get the 4th and final Shadowbox collection, I'll probably do a wrap-up video just for all of them. But this is it for right now, guys. So, thanks for coming to the live stream. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, Jamie asked 1812. I wonder.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you say that?
The War of 1812. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I think so. It's got like the Indian War and stuff in there. I could do a cursory, like I could thumb through here really quick. Hey guys, are you guys hearing us okay? Because we have new microphones. This is a new setup for us because I wanted everybody to be mic'd well, and these are brand new microphones. Hello from the treadmill in Sydney, Australia. Like you're exercising while you're watching this? That's cool.
This is a great video to exercise.
We should exercise while we do the video.
That would be something.
Civil War, Lincoln, up from slavery, World War II, victory by air, Korea, Vietnam, dawn of war, the fight for freedom, the war in the Pacific, Hitler, the untold story. That sounds like his Beat House coffee, like his Hitler, the untold story, the Wonder Years, World War II, that was Nam, Vietnam. I'm not seeing any 1812, man. You know what? This is garbage.
And there's no
Hold
Infinity War either.
There's no.
Someone asked about that.
Well, they're gonna have to make another one. This set I think is from 2012 or 2013. Great Indian Wars, 1540 to 1890. I don't know. I've given this too much time. Let us press forward.
Moving on. Someone wants to know if you collect any anime. Who's that? Jim Duggan?
Jim Duggan.
No, he had a. Is that who asked?
Oh,
I've lost who asked the question. Starluck 999.
Starluck 999. I do collect anime. I haven't made the anime video yet that I want to make. I've done a lot of pickups lately. Like I don't even know that we've talked about it, but I picked up a lot of anime from sales and stuff lately. You saw Slayers. I did pick up Slayers, the first 3 seasons. I picked up Vampire Hunter D, the Blu-ray, because it was on sale. Like Best Buy, it was a couple of weeks ago. It was like after Thanksgiving. Actually, I think it was actually before Thanksgiving, but for the Black Friday time period, Best Buy was like $10 series, like $12 series and stuff. So I bought a few things. Haven't had a chance to watch it all. There's one that is...
Oh.
Have I told you about it? About the one that's like really dirty, and I was like, you have fuzz right here. I think it's from the Santa hat.
It,
yeah. He's got a like no, it's like I don't even know how to pronounce the title. I don't know if I'm going to talk about it when I do the anime. This may be something else exclusive just for you guys, but it's an anime about a guy, Monster Masume, I think Masume, something like that. Anyway, it looked like a very Three's Company kind of a thing where they've deregulated like monster relations with Tokyo, and so monsters can roommate with like Tokyo Citizens and stuff, and I was like, and they're all girls with this one guy, and I was like, well, this would be very Three's Company, but it's basically just like a boob fest, and there's no plot, it's just boobs. I'm just like, this is, as a married man, it's just not interesting to me. Like, you know, there's no plot. There's maybe it's building to a plot. I don't know. So that has really bogged down the anime consumption right now. But I am going to do an anime video soon. Yeah, I do collect anime. I do love it. I don't have an extensive collection. It's not my focus. Anime is actually like a very small percent of what I collect, but I do love anime. There's just so much of it.
Do you want to do this one, debating between 5 movies?
Tom B. Debating between
Sixth
Sense. Go ahead.
Airplane, Shawshank Redemption / Green Mile Bundle, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and Clue. Which do you recommend the most?
You would recommend Clue first, right?
I do like Clue.
Clue, Shawshank, Shawshank, Green Mile. I don't love the Green Mile. And truth be told, Shawshank is a great movie, but I feel like it's kind of overestimated at some point. Like people put Shawshank Redemption in like their top 5 of all time, which I think is very generous. It's a good movie. But yeah, Sixth Sense, once you've seen, we watched it again last year.
No, it was a few weeks ago, wasn't it?
A few weeks ago.
Or, I mean,
no.
Time goes by really fast.
Yeah, it was at least the summer.
Was it the summer?
Yeah.
We watched it with our daughter.
Yeah. And she liked it.
She did.
But once you've seen it, you really can get 2 views out of it. There's the one to watch it for the first time, and then there's the one to see how the trick is done. And it doesn't have a lot of appeal for me after that. We did watch it again, and it was the first time I'd seen it probably since the 90s. Yeah. Probably since it was new. And I was impressed with it. So I would say, did we answer the question? Clue, Shawshank, and Green Mile. What were the other choices?
Sixth
Sense I passed on. Airplane and Hitchhikers?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, he wants one pick out of all 5 of these, I think. Clue.
Yeah.
Clue.
We watched Clue not that long ago again as well, which we really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Clue holds up. Ghost of Gonzo agrees. Clue all the way.
Yeah.
There's this thing in my head. What did she say? Madeline Kahn is amazing in that movie.
Yeah, she is. Charlie Redmond asked, what's your favorite foreign film?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a huge question. I'm thinking, like, I have so many foreign films that I like.
You like so many Italian.
Yes. Oh boy. Let's go with.
Maybe you should pick a genre.
I'm gonna go with Italian. I'm gonna go with spaghetti western, and I'm going to go just for funsies, because my answer would change from day to day. I think just for funsies today, I'm going to go Django. The original Django. Corbucci, Franco Nero. That's what I'm going to go with today.
I'll ask him again tomorrow, and he'll have a different answer.
I really will.
I can answer this one. Jim Duggan asked, where'd we get our shirts? Target.
They were on sale for $6 yesterday.
They were.
So.
Have you ever heard of Illinois Passion? Asked, have you ever heard of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
I have heard of it. Have not seen it. So that's a good thumbs up. Thanks for the recommendation.
Jamie Mason asked.
It's just boobs. They're totally right. It's just boobs.
He asked, what are on our Christmas lists?
World peace.
Always.
What's on my list? You go ahead. You go first.
You go ahead. That's fine.
My list is a Nintendo 3DS, and it also consists of the Ocarina of Time, which I may have already bought for myself and just passed off to say, hold this. And it also consists of...
Santa will wrap it.
And Mario 3D Land, I think is the name of it. That's on there too. And there's a few more that I'd like to pick up. But then, so if I could ask Santa for one thing at this point, there's a box set. It's a audio. It's Elvis, the 68 Comeback Special. They just re-released it like in October, I think. And it's the 68 Comeback Special was Elvis's big return when he stopped making movies, basically, and like got serious about music again. It was like the black leather. He looked like $1 million. He was like super on fire. And so they just released, it was an NBC special, I think NBC. And there's 5 CDs, I think, and it's basically every take of every audio track that they started or completed, plus 2 Blu-rays of every filmed performance. And it's like a retail of $150, but right now it's on sale for like $72 on Amazon, and they also have an additional 10% off of that, I think. So I really want that. I don't $150 want it, but I think 60 something dollars might be the right price. Actually, I wish it was a little bit cheaper, but that's something that's on my list as well. But I think that maybe maybe next Christmas it might be even cheaper. I don't know, because I don't think it's selling well. I don't think it made Elvis fans happy. I think they're kind of ticked off about it because it didn't. Like, it's missing a track, and they already own that. Like, hardcore Elvis fans already have all that stuff anyway from the Follow That Dream series, the Elvis official stuff. What's on yours?
They won't be as interested in my list. It's not at all like yours. My list is always shoes. I always want shoes. I love shoes.
It's true.
It is.
That's kind of a stereotype, but it's true. I mean,
I know, but it is true. I love shoes. Well, and because for me, standing on my feet all day at work, shoes are very important. And so I don't like to buy cheap shoes. So that's why I asked for them for Christmas and birthdays.
Word.
Yeah. Estrel asked, what's your ranking of the Star Wars movie?
Oh, geez. I would say... See, this is another one, like, it kind of goes up and down, but off the top of my head, off the top of the dome, I'm going to go with... And don't get mad, because I know that I got some unconventional choices here. 6, 5, 1, 4... 6, 5, 1, 4. What's left?
22.
Well, then I'm putting... Are we doing all of them?
That's a good question. Are we including all of the Star Wars?
Yeah, are we doing a sequel trilogy?
Or...
Yeah, 3, 2... 8, 7. That's... Yeah, I would put Force Awakens at the end. Controversial, I'm being honest.
Well, it's an opinion question.
It is an opinion question, and that's my honest opinion.
Tim Hayes asked your favorite music movie.
Oh, geez, Tim, I don't know. Nothing, like, I don't have just one that springs to mind. These favorite questions are always really hard for me because I don't think in terms like that.
Well, and again, I could ask you tomorrow and you would have a different answer.
It's true.
His Star Wars lineup will be different tomorrow too.
Yeah.
When I ask him.
What is, like, I love a lot of movies, so music, let's go with Yellow Submarine. Yellow Submarine is very high up there. Maybe an Elvis one too, maybe Viva Las Vegas? I don't know. Yeah. Yellow Submarine, though, is the one that first came to my mind. So.
Well, that's what you should go with.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I'm lost.
Do you need to take notes?
No, I'm okay. I just need to find where we are.
So are you guys ready for Christmas and the holiday season? Like, Hanukkah is here, right? Aren't we into Hanukkah
Today
now?
is the last night of Hanukkah.
So this is a big deal.
Yeah.
So.
I just have... what's your favorite? Another favorite. What's your favorite Mill Creek pickup? That's from...
By the way, I appreciate the questions. I'm not trying to say, like, oh, that's... Like, don't ask favorite questions. Like, I appreciate the questions.
Yeah, no. So Heath has a hard time picking his favorites. And his favorites change from day to day.
Literally day to day.
Seriously, like, sometimes I'll think this one thing is his favorite. And then the next day, something else is his favorite. It's hard to keep up. So... It's okay to ask favorite questions. It's okay to ask favorite questions, but... They may not be consistent from day to day or week.
It's true, but I don't always, like, I'll move on to something like you're saying, like I'll move on to, like, my favorite will be different, but that doesn't mean that I've abandoned whatever my old favorite was. It's all like a big, like, I have a circle of interest that it kind of just goes around, like it always comes back around. So favorite Mill Creek pickup, I don't know, it's probably that big drive-in cult classics collection because it's 200 cult classic movies. And for the price that I picked it up at, which was like $27 or something, 200 cult classic movies for 20-something dollars. And it's just, I know some of them are edited, some of them are cropped, and they're not the best prints, but as a discovery method, like, I don't know what would be equivalent of that method of discovery. It's like walking into a video store now and being able to discover, just pick things up, you know, like, what is the method of discovery now? Because Netflix sure ain't it, pal. Like, I'll tell you, Netflix is not a good way to discover new things. It's a way to, you know, maybe some things, but as far, like, there's...
It's a good way to binge watch things.
Yes, and Netflix has about 3,000 titles on it, total. And a lot of that's TV shows, movies, that's, like, Netflix has replaced our method of discovery. And so, for me, like, I can just go through these box sets, and it's slow, like, I go through them slowly, but I discover so many cool things. And then oftentimes some of those movies will have like really cool cult label pressings, like a Vinegar Syndrome pressing, or, you know, something like that. And I can go like, oh, well, I like the movie, and there's this ultimate edition out there for $20 or whatever. And so then I can move on over to that.
Mm-hmm. That was the Mill Creek.
Yeah.
Right. Cyberjourn asked, when you're thrifting for movies, what are the most common films or on Blu-ray or DVD that you always see in the store?
I know there are some. It's just getting the brain on the track that's on. Mm-hmm. You see a lot of I can tell you, music, you always see the Wallflowers, Bringing Down the Horse. You frequently see the Rembrandts, the Cranberries. Like, anything that sold billions of copies in the 90s, that's always at a thrift store. Mm-hmm. Natalie Imbruglia, Left of Center, I think is what it was called. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but movies, I see a lot of Pearl Harbor, the Michael Bay Pearl Harbor. He did that, right? I think it was Michael Bay.
I can look it up.
I see a lot of the Star Wars movies, because there's so many copies of those out there. And I do tend to see a lot of the earlier X-Men movies now, like DVDs of X-Men 1, X2, X3, stuff like that. The end.
Okay. I don't know how to say that name.
Lior.
Okay. Which Criterion titles do you own? Are there any titles in the collection you would really like to own?
Criterion Collection, I own Two Lane Blacktop, which is fantastic. I own Robinson Crusoe on Mars, which was a gift. I own Godzilla, Hard Day's Night, which is wonderful, and now the Night of the Living Dead. What would I like to own? I'm not even sure what Criterion has right now, like what because so many of their movies that they release is the Criterion Collection version. I have the other versions of them, and I'm fine with them, because you usually watch those special features once, or I usually watch those special features once. So I'm trying to think. I'm not honestly super familiar with what has come to Criterion in the last year or so. So I'm sorry, I really am not in a position to answer that question honestly. What about you? Like, what's your Criterion Collection top five wish list? It was like top five wish list.
I think this question is for me. Robert, just a fan. Are you the girl that looks at guys' shoes? I assume that question is for me. Right?
I'm hoping.
Okay.
If not, you can get him out of here.
So, someone asked, am I the girl that looks at guys' shoes? I heard ladies do that. Well, I look at everybody's shoes. Men's shoes and women's shoes. Everybody's.
I think maybe they're talking about
retail.
Like at retail.
Oh, at retail? I thought you meant like on people's feet. At retail, no. I don't shop for men's shoes unless it's like unisex kind of shoes, like Converse or Vans or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I, on the other hand, he
has a big collection of women's shoes.
That's what I was going to say, an extensive collection of women's shoes and women's underwear.
Yes. So I lost what question we were on. No, it just scrolled and.
Yeah.
So Jamie asked Tombstone or Wyatt Earp for Dodge City movie.
Tombstone. I like Wyatt Earp. I liked Wyatt Earp more when I saw it in the theater. I like Kevin Costner a lot. Dennis Quaid's Doc Holliday is really good. If that movie hadn't been so close to Tombstone in terms of like subject matter and release date and everything, I feel like Wyatt Earp would have stood a little bit taller. And for a long time, like when I first saw it, like I loved Wyatt Earp when it first came out. But then Tombstone over the years has just become this absolute classic in the Western genre. I don't know that it's as accurate or as historically important or what. That's not the right word. But I think it takes more liberties with the story. But Tombstone, I mean, it's Kurt effing Russell, man. It's Kurt Russell. So Tombstone. And he, like, and you know, there's all these stories now about he kind of secretly directed the movie, or at least virtually directed the movie, and so Kurt Russell's the best ever.
You love Kurt Russell.
I love Kurt Russell.
It's his favorite. That's a favorite he could answer.
Yeah. And that doesn't change either.
No, it doesn't change. Kurt Russell. Anything Kurt Russell in it, we'll watch. Like that Netflix.
Yeah. The
Christmas movie. What's it called? The Christmas Chronicles. We watched it because Kurt Russell.
The Christmas Chronicles of Narnia. Yeah, we watched it because of Kurt Russell. And Kurt Russell is the reason to watch that movie, in my opinion.
Is it Tanya or Tanya? Louise, do you know?
I'm going to say it's Tanya, but it's Tanya. Right. If it's Tanya, let us know.
Asked if I have a favorite UK TV show. I like UK TV, but I guess the one that pops to my head is probably my favorite is Absolutely Fabulous.
Ab-Fab.
Ab-Fab.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We just finished series 1 of Black Books, too.
We did.
That was fun.
It was good. Mark Holding asked, "What is your opinion on Die Hard being a Christmas movie?" We just talked about that not long ago.
You take this one.
I don't want to.
You know how I feel. Okay. Die Hard is a movie set at Christmas time. It did not come out at Christmas time. And so I laugh when people are like, you can't watch Die Hard at a time other than Christmas. Well, of course you can. You can watch Die Hard whenever you want to watch Die Hard.
You can watch anything whenever you want to watch it.
Same with Gremlins. Like I talked about Gremlins during the Halloween season. People are like, Gremlins is a Christmas movie. Gremlins didn't come out at Christmas time. Gremlins came out in the summer. So we attach these meanings onto things and we hold on to them. Like I think that Die Hard is a great action movie that takes place at Christmas. I honestly don't have rules about it, so I'm not like, well, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It's an action movie that takes place at Christmas. We've watched it at Christmas. We've watched it during the year too. Like I don't feel dedicated. I don't feel obligated to watch it at a certain time of the year. It's an anytime movie that happens to take place on Christmas.
Yeah, I think people just think it feels more thematic because it happens at Christmas.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily a Christmas movie.
But I mean, it is obviously Christmas themed, you know, ho, 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 now I have a machine gun.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But you can watch it whenever
so you want. Enjoy it any time of the year, but enjoy it more at Christmas? I don't know.
Yeah.
Really, whatever makes you happy. But what bothers me, here's where I can't let it go. What bothers me is people tell people, you can't watch that movie you can't watch Die Hard in June. Well, yeah, you can. You can watch it whenever you want to.
Whenever you want. The Ghost of Gonzo asked, what's the movie you're most looking forward to in 2019?
Do you know?
Do I know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of what's coming
out. What's coming out in 2019?
We've already talked about
Avengers 4 looks good.
Is Captain Marvel 2019?
Yeah. See, here's the thing. We're not super invested in what's coming out in 2019, so I'm not even really sure. I bet there's like some really awesome things that are coming out, but I don't know about them because I'm more retro minded, so I don't really stay abreast of what's coming out. You know what? Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
That's wrapping up at the end of the year.
That's true. That'll be exciting.
And I just want to see if J.J. Abrams can do something with that.
Can follow the last
If he can end the story well. Because I don't know that he's done it yet. We'll see.
Movie Mad asked, have you seen... What is that? Bidcovey?
Have I seen Bidcovey? I don't know what Bidcovey is, so I guess no.
Ooh, you have to tell us what it is.
Oh, it's cool that he's here, though. That's Movie Mad. What's up, Movie Mad? I'm sorry, I just saw that you were here. What is that? Can you elaborate on... I guess I don't know what that is, but maybe you can sell me on
it. Robert, just a fan, said, are you looking for any new Migos? And that's how he discovered your channel. I'm
in a holding pattern with Migo right now. I look every time we go to Target. I looked yesterday. When we bought these shirts, I looked for new Migo. They had Al Bundy. They had the Woody from Cheers. Is that his name? Yeah. The Woody Harrelson.
Yeah,
was his
yeah.
name Woody? Yeah. But I have kind of lost all excitement for them. In all honesty, it's not fun anymore. It used to be exciting to go and see, and I know that a lot of you guys are still looking on the internet and you're like hopping on to Target.com. And that's awesome. That's really cool. And good luck. Like seriously, like good luck. I hope you find the ones that you're looking for because they're out there. They have to be out there. They're probably in a warehouse somewhere. But at the moment, I just feel like it's not fun anymore, and it feels more like an obligation instead of a joy. And so I have just kind of if I did find, like if we went to Target this week and I found the Gene Simmons Demon, I would buy him. I would buy Frankenstein, which I have still yet to see in a store. Have not seen Frankenstein. But my enthusiasm for the Frankenstein is kind of spoiled because the Wolfman is not Universal's Lon Chaney Wolfman from the Wolfman movie. It's Lon Chaney Wolfman from this other movie, which I don't know if the rights for that were cheaper. I don't know, but there's a questionable decision there that kind of just, it's another thing. It's just a decision that was made that I don't understand, and it kind of takes away my excitement for it. So then I'll have a Boris Karloff Frankenstein, in theory, if I ever find one, and I'll have my Bela Lugosi Dracula, and then I'll have Lon Chaney Wolfman from this late period movie that has nothing to do with the Universal Wolfman. Like, that's just weird. So I'm in a holding pattern. I'm not done with it necessarily, but at the moment, I'm just not excited about it. So I have just kind of let it go.
Mark Holding asked, what movie should never be remade? With 4 question marks.
Star Wars, The Godfather, all the classics I think need to be left alone because they're classics. For example, Casablanca. I want to say all movies because I don't think most movies benefit from being remade ever. And there's enough originality out there that I think that we should be pushing for new stuff. But I definitely think that classics should be off limits. If it's a well-received movie with a lot of respect for it, stay away from it. Good, the Bad, the Ugly. The Sergio Leone trilogy. Man with No Name trilogy. Classics. Stay away from the classics. Anything that all these movies have, Some Like It Hot. If it's in the AFI Top 100, leave them alone. That's what I think.
Con Artist asks, what are your thoughts on Joe Dirt?
I love Joe Dirt. I probably shouldn't, but I do. And we live in Alabama, and so much of Joe Dirt. Like I understand that like a lot of Joe Dirt is it translates to all over because we've been everywhere. We've traveled the country. Here's a fun fact: we did Route 66 from Chicago all the way to Los Angeles to Santa Monica, the Santa Monica Pier. We have driven, we drove, but we have driven all across this country. We've been to a lot of places, and there are Joe Dirts everywhere. But I feel like there's a lot of Joe Dirts around here. There really seems to be. And so I relate to Joe Dirt in a way of like, I look like Zach Galifianakis. I'm going to take that as a compliment and not an insult. But like I feel like Joe Dirt, like I relate to him probably more than I should. But I love Joe Dirt. I have the sequel too. I have that on Blu-ray. Do I think Kevin Hart was right to stand down as the Oscar host? And who would I like to see replace him? I don't honestly. I know he stepped down. I know it seemed to have something to do with homophobic tweets. I don't know the whole story there. There's probably more than I'm aware of. So I'm going to just say like, But as far as who should replace him, I don't know that either. I haven't watched the Oscars in years.
No,
years.
it's been a long time.
Who do we like? Who could host the Oscars and do a good job? Stephen Fry.
Love Stephen Fry. Aaron Johnson asked, what is your opinion on the Home Alone movies? And that his favorite one is the second one where Kevin uses a talk boy, but he also visits a hotel.
That is an amazing... Okay, first of all, most people deride the second Home Alone for being like an absolute atrocity. But I was there when it all happened. Like I saw Home Alone in the theater. I saw Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, is that the title, in the theater. And Home Alone 2 had just as much buzz. We all loved Home Alone 2, but nobody wants to admit that they liked Home Alone 2 now. So I think that is awesome. You are awesome. Personally, I've only seen the first two. I prefer the first one to the second one because it's just more, it was original, it was classic, and I don't know how old you are, but do you remember, like if you were old enough to have seen that in the theater, Home Alone made such a cultural, huge, it was like a bomb, the Home Alone bomb, just like everywhere you go, it was like, ah, and it was like, you know, keep the change, you filthy animal, everywhere. Home Alone, like we were quoting it, we were watching, I've seen Home Alone so many, dozens of times. And I haven't seen Home Alone 2 dozens of times, and I don't think it's necessarily that movie's fault, but I was just a little bit older. I had less time. It was, I don't know. So I love Home Alone 1 and 2. I haven't seen any of the other ones, so, but that's cool, man. That is super cool. Tanya. Yeah.
Tanya. Great. I've lost where we were with the question.
Well, that's
so
okay. It
you
keeps
can,
scrolling.
Oh, do you like John Waters? KTS. Do you like John Waters?
Yeah, I've only seen a few John Waters movies. I have Crybaby on DVD, but I honestly don't have much of an opinion on him.
Robert Josephine asked if it's cold where we are.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I mean, comparatively speaking, probably not, but for us, yes, it's cold. It's supposed to warm up this week, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asked, what's the biggest deal you have found at a thrift store?
Biggest deal at a thrift store.
You get so many.
I do. I get a lot of really good deals at thrift stores. PlayStation 2 for $12, I think. You know, probably the best deals that I've gotten like we have a stereo system. I know now everybody has like these tiny little Bluetooth speakers and stuff, but we have like a full 80s stereo system that I cobbled together from thrift store stuff. So we have a stereo receiver that has inputs for phono, tape, CD, radio, all that stuff. We have a 5-disc CD changer. We have a record player. We have 2 huge speakers that stand on the floor and are about 3 feet tall. And we can run our iPods in there. You know, we can run our phones into there, and we can listen to MP3s through there. And I have maybe in the whole setup, maybe $25, maybe. Now the phonograph player, the record player was not part of that, but everything else, the tape player, the record player, everything, like $5 here, $4 here. Like I've just been piecing stuff together over the years. That's probably the best as far as value, because I'll look on eBay sometimes for what some of those things are going for, and it's like $50 to $75 for most of those components. And I got them for change. And it sounds good too. Mm-hmm. Fills the whole house with music.
It does. Malachi/MG47 asks, have you seen all the first 100 episodes of SpongeBob yet?
No. We're on disc, I think we're about halfway through it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some things like that we watch sporadically. Yeah. Like we'll start on it, we'll watch a lot of it, and then we'll take a break and watch something else, and then we'll come back to it.
We go through phases.
So we're working on it.
Yeah.
We like SpongeBob.
We do.
A lot.
Nah.
I have SpongeBob socks.
You wearing your SpongeBob socks?
I'm not wearing them now, but I do have some.
And I have a SpongeBob bra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You do. Cyberdrone asks, top 3 insect-themed movies.
Holy crap. I don't even know. There's Bees movie, The Invasion of the Deadly Bees or something. I don't.
The Fly.
The Fly? Yeah. Oh, this is why you're here. The Fly?
I'm helpful.
The Fly 2? No. What are some other insect-themed movies? There's a. I think it's just called Ants. I think that's what it's called. It was like a TV movie from the 70s. It's got Suzanne Summers in it. That's pretty fun. That's all I can think of off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm. Leor
Yes.
Yep.
Leor.
Says, do you collect any non-superhero / science fiction / fantasy comic books? And have you heard about Stray Bullets?
Absolutely. And yeah, I've heard of Stray Bullets. I haven't read any Stray Bullets, but I'm well aware of that. Yeah. No, I read a lot of other stuff. I've dabbled with Sandman, like the Neil Gaiman Sandman. What was the question? I want to make sure that I don't.
Do you collect any
non-super? So is that non-science fiction, non-fantasy comic
I think
books?
That's the question.
So basically, like crime and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I was digging some of Bendis's. What was the name of Bendis's crime book? Holy crap! The one that Bendis was writing. Then there's Lone Ranger with Dynamite that I was enjoying. I do not read a ton of crime comics or horror comics or things like that, just because I like to escape. I usually read at bedtime, and I like happy things that make me feel a little bit better about the world we live in instead of worse about it.
Before you go to bed.
Right before I go to bed. Yeah, but those are the ones that immediately come to mind. But I have lots and lots of comics, so I'm sure there's some stuff that I haven't remembered that I actually really love.
Mm-hmm. Robert Just a Fan asked this. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe you can help.
Oh, the arcade 1-ups machine. No, probably not. Just aren't those things like $300? They're if we're talking about the same thing, they're super cool. But I can't justify it. With all the stuff we got in this house and in this room in particular, I just can't justify it. But they're very cool. Very cool.
Eric Griggs asked both of us.
Oh, Eric's here.
If you had to choose which Muppet most matches each of our personalities,
I would like to publicly thank Eric for the donation to the channel as well, because that was super cool. I don't know, he might be mad at me for calling that out, but I like to publicly thank people for acts of exceptional generosity, and that was exceptional and generous. And so thank you, Eric. If we had to choose one Muppet, I know who matches me the most. What about you?
Yeah. I know who I would pick for myself.
You would pick Janet, right?
Yep. It's Janice, I think.
Janice? Okay. Janice. And I would pick Floyd? Who's the guy? You know who I'm talking about? The guy with like the Sergeant Pepper jacket? And
that's Floyd.
Floyd, yeah. Floyd. I'd go with Floyd. Yeah. And that was my avatar for a long time on like forums and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should go back to that.
Mm-hmm. Do we
have a Christmas traditions? Do we have Christmas traditions for Christmas Day? We eat.
Is there a parade on Christmas Day? You always like to watch parades.
Oh, there's the pre-recorded Disney parade. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
I'm gonna get comfortable because my back hurts.
Yeah, my back hurts too.
I'm just gonna. What's up, guys? What's up?
Yep.
Yeah, I like the Disney parade. I like to, for a while when we had cable, we would watch the Doctor Who Christmas special, but we cut cable, so that's not really an option anymore. Mm-hmm. And there's like dubious ways that you can get around that, but we don't. So that used to be a tradition, though. Mm-hmm. And then it would usually end with me being like, "That's very stupid. Like this story doesn't make any sense. They've taken so many shortcuts with the story to make us all feel good that none of it makes any sense."
Okay.
Which is my big problem with modern Doctor Who, is that it's got a lot of really cool special effects and a really cool premise, but a lot of times you think about the story after you've watched it and you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like that, if he'd done that, wait a minute, this is... I like to say that Doctor Who goes like, over here, oh, look, oh, over here. And they're trying to distract you constantly from like what's going on with the story of like the Doctor hanging off the TARDIS or something like that, riding a dinosaur, things like that. Old Doctor Who, my goodness, did not have good special effects. I'm watching the Peter Davison series right now, his first series on Blu-ray, and he talks about how like the special effects embarrass him. He's embarrassed. He may have moved on. There was a 2007 interview, so he may have moved on from it a little bit, but he's talking about like he loved being Doctor Who, but he is embarrassed of the special effects. And I totally understand that. But the stories were almost always there. The scripts were there. They had interesting ideas. Okay.
No, it's fine. No, because you're talking about that, it reminded me of when you would watch old Doctor Who. And our daughter would have to go stand on the stairs because she was scared.
You should tell that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were watching.
I specifically remember I was watching Tom Baker, Pyramids of Mars.
Yeah, and
we found our daughter.
Our daughter was standing. She had left the room and was standing on the stairs because she was frightened.
Because she couldn't see. It's the old like behind the sofa thing, but she wasn't behind the sofa. She was on the stairs.
On the stairs, just
so that she couldn't see. She's just this listening to see if if it was as scary as it looked, but like something about the masks and stuff, like the practical effects really freaked her out, which I think is an argument for practical, because practical has this tangibility that's kind of creepy. Digital, especially kids now, they can like spot digital. It's like super like, oh yeah, that's whatever, that's computer effects. But when you got practical stuff, it's harder for your brain to make that connection or that disconnect, whatever, to do the disbelief. But same thing happened. I was watching Macho Man Randy Savage's best of DVD. She came in, it freaked her out, and she went and stood on the stairs.
But now she loves wrestling.
Now she loves it.
Anyway.
She likes Macho Man too.
She was young then. So. Andrew asked, what's your all-time favorite Nickelodeon show? That's hard to choose.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, that was a good show.
Done.
Jamie asked, is there a Christmas movie or movies that you watch each year?
Die Hard. No, just is there? We used to. I know a lot of people do Christmas stories. We do something.
I like a Christmas story.
We have some that we watch most years. I don't know if we have one that we watch every year. Elf usually gets put into rotation, mostly because our daughter, the kid.
We
loves
like it a lot, but she loves it.
Do you want to tell the story about the cat ruining Elf? Remember the cat, Bolivia, the cat.
Yeah.
You want to tell that story?
Well, we were at the end of the movie.
The very end of the movie.
And they're like singing and it's all magical.
Yeah, and they're trying to like revive Christmas spirit. And somebody asked if Die Hard was a Christmas movie or not. We already talked about that, man. Rewind. You gotta watch this. You gotta watch the replay of the live stream. So it was the end of the. I told you to tell the story, and
no, it's okay. You do a better impression of the cat.
So the cat's on the ottoman in front of us. And so like it's like we're all cheering for Santa, and there's people singing, and then like the music's like. And the cat goes like, she stands up, she's like like this weird stretch,
ugly stretch,
blocking the entire television. And so every year we think about that, like how the cat basically stepped on the ending of Elf. So it's a cool story though. I don't know if we have any movies we watch every year, but we got a cool Elf story.
We have a rotation.
We do have a rotation. Home Alone. Well, a lot of the Christmas classics. I like Miracle on 34th Street, but I'm the only one that likes Miracle on 34th Street in the house. The kid hasn't watched it. She's at the age where we can't show her old stuff right now. She's just like,
she likes some
whatever.
Older things. She likes a lot of older things.
Oh, no.
She likes like Gremlins and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's from the 40s.
Oh, you're talking about like super older.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
She loves I Love Lucy.
She does.
But she's at that age where like she's just on her phone all the time.
Nonstop.
We have lost her to her cell phone.
Do you have a collection of those Turner Classic Movies for DVD?
Yes, I do. I have some. I have 3 or 4 of those sets. I have the Errol Flynn set. I have, I think it's a Cary Grant set. It's got, what's the Gunga Din? You guys, if you haven't seen Gunga Din, it's got like if you watch Gunga Din, and then you watch Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, like they took a lot of Temple of Doom from Gunga Din, like a lot. Like it's not like, oh well, it's kind of similar. Like there's a lot of Gunga Din in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I also have I'm trying to remember which ones that I have now. I think I have 4. And a fun fact, I just picked up a Turner Classic Movies silent collection for. Is it Greta Garbo? No, who is it? I haven't watched it yet. But it's a collection of silent films about an actress. I think it's Greta Garbo. It might be, Anyway, and it was like $1.50, I think is what I paid for it. So that was a really cool score too. Those were a great, like when DVD was a little bit younger, those were a great way to discover really great classic movies at a really cool price. So I have a lot of affection for those, and they're like fully loaded most of the time too. They have Leonard Maltin Night at the Movies, where you do like shorts and newsreels and yeah, it's a cool question.
Stuart asked if they were to make a live action version of an 80s cartoon, which one would you want it to be, and any ideas on casting?
I mean, I'm still waiting for them to do G.I. Joe and Transformers right. Bumblebee looks like a step in the right direction, but we haven't seen it yet, so it's hard to say for sure. But like G.I. Joe, for a lot of kids my age, I don't think just Americans either. I think like a lot of just like across the board, kids my age, like G.I. Joe was a huge deal with the ninjas and with like the whole Cobra thing. And I really don't think they've, like, I think the first G.I. Joe movie panders to a cartoon audience, and they make so many sacrifices with what G.I. Joe actually is. And then the second movie, the one with The Rock in it, is a much better movie, but I feel like they've tried so hard to not be the first movie that they threw the baby out with the bathwater, going as far as to kill main characters in the prologue, basically. So, yeah, Dwayne Johnson is Brave Star. Yeah. We've talked about that before. I forgot about that. Yeah. See, some of these people remember my answers better than I remember them. That's an example of my answers changing from day to day. I don't have a stock set of answers that I can go to. I'm in the moment, baby. You know, if I tell you something, I'm being honest, because I'm in the moment.
Al asked, do you like Christmas Carol?
Do I like Christmas Carol?
Or do you... it says, do you like...
Do you like Christmas Carol?
I assume.
A Christmas Carol.
A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, I like...
Several iterations.
There are many iterations of that. My favorite version of that is Mickey's Christmas Carol, which is still, I think, my favorite of the Disney shorts from, I think, came in the 80s. And we have that somewhere on one of our Walt Disney Treasures collections. But I might want to pull that out now and see it. We have the Jim Carrey version, the CGI. Is that Zemeckis? Did he do that? That's fun, but it's got a lot of like 3D bits in it that feel kind of clunky to me if you're not watching it in 3D. And I don't know that I've seen any of the other ones. I'm sure I have. But for me, yes, but my go-to is Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Andrew asked, what's your favorite Disney movie ever? That's a hard question.
Yeah, that is a very hard question. But I think, if I'm being honest, it's Hercules. Hercules is the movie that kind of brought me back to Disney when I thought I was too old for it. Because I had gotten older, I'd gotten a job, and I was in the job marketplace, and I was like 17 or 18. I think it was 18. And this guy was like, hey, man, did you see Hercules? Like one of my coworkers. And I was like, man, Disney for real? Like, we're 18, man. What are you doing watching Disney? And he was like, I really think you should watch Hercules. And I did, and it brought me back to Disney because I thought I was too cool for it, and it brought me back. And I've been on board ever since.
Yep. As Stuart asked, was Alan Rickman better as the Sheriff of Nottingham or as Hans Gruber?
Sheriff of Nottingham. Because there's nothing holding him back. There's no restraint. For better or for worse, there's an argument to be made either way, but they just let him go. And so it's like the full Rickman.
I like him as Snape.
You like, Brie likes him. Why did you whisper that?
I don't know.
You have
it
a
was
microphone.
A secret. I like him as Snape.
Mr. Potter.
Robert Just a Fan asked, are you watching that CW Flash crossover?
Turn out your pocket. No, we are years behind on the CW shows. We like them. I think we're on what season of Arrow are we on? 3? I think we're on season 3. And when you watch them, so we don't watch any of them live. We watch them like on DVD or Netflix or something like that. And for me, when you binge those shows, sometimes they feel padded. And I don't really do padded TV shows, so I'll usually just bail, and we end up having to come back. Will you lean over just a little bit so we're more centered? No, we just got to be centered. Just because it got to be, it's my OCD. So we are we've seen part of season 1 of The Flash. We've seen up to season 3-ish of Arrow. We've seen season 1 of Gotham. We've seen none of Supergirl, though I do have the first 2 seasons on Blu-ray. We have most of them. We just have to actually watch them. That's the problem, is finding time to actually watch these things. SpongeBob. Jeez, so much stuff.
Cyberdrone asked, do you use any British slang words you have picked up from watching our TV shows and films?
I'm sure we do all the time. I say cheeky like on a daily basis. That's not a slang word, but I say it a lot. Like cheeky. I will occasionally say apples and pears. In reference to a staircase. Probably some of them are not appropriate for this broadcast, but what do we say? We do though. Like we use a lot of British speak that would probably be offensive to English people, because they'd be like, oh, they're doing it so badly. But like if we heard an English person say like, saddle up to the saloon, partner, we'd be like, oh. But for us, it's charming because we don't.
Who says that?
English people. I don't know.
No,
that's an English.
Saddle up to this. Who says that?
I was just like that. I feel.
In real life.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, but that's like the stereotype of like the the American cowboy with the like.
Our blue jeans and guns.
Yeah. Which actually, it's not too far off the mark.
Mark asked, what movie can you rewatch without getting bored?
Oh, there's a bunch. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Batman 1989, Dick Tracy, Pirates of the Caribbean 1, not 2 and 3. Star Wars, any of the original classic trilogy Star Wars films. I do, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rebel Force Radio. It used to be the Force Cast. They've been around for like a hot decade, like a long time. And they have been doing this thing for years where they do blow up the Death Star at New Year's. And I do that every year. Although the last couple of years, it hasn't been at midnight because nobody's awake anymore. But you time A New Hope, episode 4, so that the Death Star blows up at midnight. And so it's awesome. So it's like 10, 9, 8, and they're like, the music's like dum 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 dum, and then right at midnight it's like when you get the whole Death Star explosion thing. It's fantastic, and I got that from Rebel Force Radio / the Force Cast, and we do it a lot. Like that's a tradition.
Yeah.
So I can watch that movie. That's the one. Like the first Star Wars is a movie that when I was a kid I didn't really like it that much because I thought it was kind of boring. But as I've gotten older, there's just so much there, and I really appreciate the Western element and the world building element of it. And so that's one of them that I can watch over and over. But it wasn't always the case.
Mark asked, have you seen the Happy Time Murders?
No, haven't. Not opposed to it. It'll cross my path at some point. I'll pick it up somewhere. It'll be on Netflix or something. I'll check it out. Andy
asked, how big is your collection? Big.
Movies, about 3,200. Movies / TV shows / whatever. About 3,200 right now. Comics, 6,000 comics. 3 shelves of trade paperbacks. Extensive music collection, extensive record collection. I've been doing physical media for 20-something years. So, big.
Yeah.
Do you want to weigh in on this at all?
I mean, I said big.
Yeah, but
it is big.
And you're okay with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Mark asked, why don't I appear in your videos much? What do you mean? I'm clearly shy. So,
we're going to turn that around.
But often you make videos when I'm at work, because I work.
A lot of my videos are shot at like 7 a.m. in the morning before I go to work. Because when and
I'm already at work.
Yeah.
By then.
Yeah. So. I work outside. This is not my job. Serial at Midnight is not my job. Serial at Midnight is a hobby and a passion. And so a lot of the videos are done around my schedule whenever I have free time, which is not much. And then I will go to work. Like, why don't I do it later, like after work? Because when I come in from working a full day outside, my energy is 0. I am done. And if I even push editing off until after work,
it's hard.
It barely gets done because I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So that's why, because you're not here. But I want to fix that. You've been in some of the location videos, like you're in the Space and Rocket Center video.
Yeah.
I don't think you're on. I think I cut out your talking bit because you just seem too shy about it. But it's true.
I really didn't know what to say, but
you had to work up to it, and you're doing really well now. Yeah. But I do want you to be more involved in the future because, like, if I could go back in time, I did a video review of Solo, a Star Wars story. And you were in that video. We were having, like, I feel like you talked about it. Maybe not. Maybe you were just, you were there.
In that video. Was I?
We were like 2 feet apart, but I don't know that you're on camera. But if we could do that over again, that would be a conversation. Because we had a really interesting conversation about that movie. And so I want you to be more involved in these things because I have about had it with myself, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, I get on my own nerves. So I can only imagine how much I get on other people's nerves, like my strong opinions about things and my changing opinions. And you balance me, and you also have really intelligent, thoughtful opinions yourself. And so,
thank you.
Yeah, so I want you to be a bigger part of it when you can.
Tim asked, one movie not out on DVD and or Blu-ray that you want to see released. Hard question.
That was a hard question.
You can think about it.
I'm going to say the original cuts of the classic Star Wars trilogy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I know we've technically gotten those on as extras on those DVDs from like 2004 or something like that, but they weren't anamorphic. There was no love put into them whatsoever. I would like Disney, now that they own 20th Century Fox, to release episode 4, 5, and 6 unaltered. True Lies. Oh, somebody said True Lies. Hacksaw said True Lies, and that's a good one too. I have that DVD, but I guess since it's on DVD, it's represented. But I want the original classic Star Wars trilogy. And while they're doing that, why don't they throw us season collections of the Droids and Ewoks show? There we go.
I'm lost where we are. Oh, Jim asked original 34th Street or remake.
I've actually never seen the remake. So original for me. I like old movies. I'm a really big fan of like black and white old movies from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Film noir buff. So I'm not opposed to it. I just haven't seen it. So because it wasn't something that I saw whenever it came out, I don't know. I don't have an opinion on it. I've never seen it, so I have to go classic on that one.
Robert, just a fan, said we should do karaoke. Could you imagine? That's not really a two-person song, man.
That's true. What's a two-person song?
Well, he said Sonny and Cher.
I don't know that song.
You don't know that I Got You, Babe?
I mean, I know the chorus was like, babe, I got you, babe.
We'll work on it.
And then you could do you do a share? Can you do a share?
No, I need to work on that. I don't know.
That's a pretty good
you
share.
You can sing Cher's part, and I'll sing Sonny's part. Okay. All right.
Babe.
Mark asked, were you planning to do a movie room tour or a collection overview?
Man, at some point, yeah, but it's not finished, and there's literally hundreds of movies on the floor, and they're not organized.
Building the shelves. We haven't finished yet.
Here's a peek behind the scenes. So I did a wrestling DVD tour, and it was just because like people have been I had gotten several emails and comments like, "Will you show us your wrestling DVDs?" I was like, "Yeah." And I say this a lot. Like, the room is not finished. I'm spending all my free time making videos and like trying to watch a lot of the stuff that comes in. And so organizing the room just is the last thing that gets done. Mm-hmm. And so having said that, like, I did a wrestling DVD tour, and people in the comments were like, these are out of order. Like, this is here and this needs to be here. If you move this up to here, it'll be in order. And like, I know that, but that's why, like, think about that magnified by 10. Okay, like that. Okay, all of these movies, and then all of these movies, and then there's even more behind us on the futon. And they're not in order. They're in a loose order. They're kind of in an order that they came in as. But and sometimes I have the Bond movies in order. But that's the big thing. Why not? Because they're not ready yet. Like, I know that if I do that video, I won't be happy with it yet. So it's coming, but I can't say when it's coming. I thought it would have happened already, but it hasn't. What I will probably do is break it up into chunks. So it will be like movie room tour part 1. And I will do 10 minutes or 15 minutes looking at one section of shelves. And there will be, you know, at least 6 of those videos.
Robert Justafan asked, what are the YouTube channels that we like to watch?
We like the Tim Tracker. I used to watch a lot of Adam the Woo. See, this is the kind of question that I don't want to... So many of you guys do YouTube, and I try to watch your channels and stuff. Like I know Movie Mad has a channel. Cinema Sickness is another guy that does... He does a lot of picking up stuff too. He's movies. I try to do a mix of content where it's movies and comics and music and some video games and just things that are exciting to me on a given day. But as far as like what YouTubers I actively watch and are current on, like none. But in the past, we do together like to watch Tim Tracker, who's he's in Orlando. It's Tim and Jen, and they're in Orlando. They do a lot of Disney videos. They do a lot of Universal videos and a lot of lifestyle videos. And they were, honestly, Tim Tracker was a big inspiration for me to actually start my channel because I was like, you know, I could take the passion that he has for this. They do it every day. But like that was very exciting for me. That was very motivational for me. So, and Adam the Woo is a guy who travels the country basically and makes videos about cool stuff, roadside attractions, small towns. Like he'll roll up to, you know, this small town, film for a day there. Love his stuff. He doesn't, he used to do daily vlogging. He kind of burned out on that, which is a very real thing. The YouTube burnout is real. But both of those guys, I was really like, you know, I can do this. I have passion for this and I can do that. But I'm not current on either one of those channels. I don't watch everything that comes out on either one of those channels, but that's fair. Is there anybody else that we, I
can't think of anybody else.
There's some video game people, like I'm aware of, like John Riggs, John Hancock, Metal Jesus Rocks. There's a lot of people that are out there that I like, that like if I ever saw them at a convention or something like that, I'd be like, hey man, I like your videos. But here's another thing too, like as a YouTuber, you gotta be careful what you're putting in, like what influences you're putting in, because you don't want to take somebody else's voice or have somebody else's opinion influence your own opinion. You have to make sure that you're being true to what's coming out, to what's inside. It's a weird thing to say, but it's very easy to get caught up in other people's opinions. And so, but I mean, that's not really the reason that I don't watch a lot of YouTube. It's just I don't have time. I watch a little bit, but I don't watch nearly as much as I used to.
Favorite holiday horror movie? By the way, I love how, look at us in the live stream. We started out like up here and we were so close and like approachable, and now we're like leaned back really far away in the back of the couch.
Yep, that's true. I noticed that in my videos too. Like I'll be editing, and I'll start out here, like framed and like centered, and then like 15 minutes later, I'm back here, and I'm just like, oh. Sometimes I can edit around it and like kind of zoom, but sometimes it's just a lost cause. Here, let me sit up.
Okay. So your favorite holiday horror movie?
Are you doing that on purpose?
No.
Okay.
What am I doing?
You're just staring.
I was reading the comments
okay.
coming in at the bottom.
That's bad live streaming. So people are like, hey guys, hey, oh, it's so good to have. That's one of the reasons that she's here, so that no one is at any point just staring at the screen. I'm trying to think of the holiday. Silent Night, Deadly Night is fun. I like that one. We like Krampus. I'm gonna go with Silent Night, Deadly Night. I don't love that movie or anything, but I do like it.
There's so many questions. Okay. It's already 4:09.
Do you want to cap it? How many more questions?
I have no idea. If I scroll down, I will never find our place again.
Okay, what time is it?
It's 4:09.
4:09. They don't do time codes either, do they? No. So you can be like, okay, 5 more minutes of questions, and then we'll try to get, because we're
That means you have to answer quickly.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'll try.
No, don't be sorry. I'm
4:05 will cap, or in 5 minutes.
4:15.
4:15. It's 4:10? 4:09.
It's 4:09. That's 6 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Between Scrooged and Ghostbusters, which is the better Bill Murray movie for laughable quotes?
I like Ghostbusters better for Bill Murray. Mm-hmm. But there's an argument to be made for both.
I really like Scrooged.
You go just a little bit over so we can be centered again. I'm sorry. Okay. We like Scrooge. We do watch Scrooge. We don't watch it every year, but we watched it last year.
Yeah.
Scrooge is good. Mm-hmm. Ghostbusters, though. Okay. Like Ghostbusters for me.
Do you want to answer top 5 from 2018? You have a hard time with
probably
top
quote Groundhog Day more than any of those, though. Is this some kind of radical new therapy? Anyway.
Is that Groundhog Day?
No. No, not Groundhog Day.
What about Bob?
What about Bob?
Yeah.
Again, this is why you're here. What about Bob?
What about Bob? We watched that one, too.
Baby Steps.
Not long ago.
Baby Steps, yes.
Yeah. Top 5 from 2018. I know you don't really do. You have a hard time with top 5s.
I don't know. I've seen 5 movies from 2018. Avengers: Infinity War, we saw. Mm-hmm. It was good. Solo. Mm-hmm. What did we watch the other night? The Black Friday. I'm not qualified to answer that question. I'm not qualified to answer that question. I don't know that I've seen 5 movies from 2018.
I bet you have, but you just can't think of them because you're so retro-minded. You're always thinking about older movies, so...
Like, if you want to talk about my top 5 from 1968, I could...
Or 76.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of Star Wars Despecialized?
I feel like I didn't give that enough attention, though. I do really like Solo. I think Solo has problems, and I wish that it had been Ron Howard from start to finish, or at least somebody from start to finish. But I do really like that. I think that's a strong contender. I know that there's like this weird internet backlash against Solo. I think that will die down soon, and people will be like, hey, Solo is actually pretty good. It's a shame that those 2 actors, Alden Ehrenreich and... Lando, what's his name? Community, Donald Glover? Yeah. That they won't necessarily get a sequel movie or to revisit those characters because I think that they deserve it. I think that's, I'm probably more interested in that than some of the directions that we're going with some of the main numbered titles. That's just today, though, because obviously I wrote this huge thing about The Last Jedi for Serial at Midnight, and I was really feeling it when we first saw it. So, this is.
Tanya asked, do either of us have a favorite special bonus feature on a DVD? Hers is a commentary track. You listen to those a lot.
I do. Mm-hmm. I rip commentary tracks from my computer with a program, like an audio ripper program, and I will listen to commentary tracks while I'm at work. Mm-hmm. But I will say, I don't know that it's one special feature, but the appendices on the Lord of the Rings.
I was going to say, mine is all of the Lord of the Rings.
We should get married.
We should. Oh, we belong together.
It's all of the appendices from the Lord of the Rings movies, not the Hobbit ones necessarily, but the original ones. Those are amazing. And going through this, like, they're longer than the movies by a long shot. Isn't it like 20 hours or something like that? Like, it's
really long. It took us days to finish.
And it starts with basically the casting process. You get to see Andy Serkis like auditioning for Gollum, and he's like on the floor, and he's like, oh, he's doing all this stuff, and then like it all ends way after the premiere, and they're like putting stuff together for like home video and stuff. Like it covers years. And Mary Warrenoff is amazing. It covers years. And so those, when you finish them, you almost feel like you've been on that Fellowship of the Ring journey, not with the characters, but with the actors and the special effects people. I do my Richard Taylor impression around the house.
Yes. I do my Richard Taylor impression. Peter came to us and said, we need 5,000 orcs and we need them on Friday. And I had them all made. You know, we stayed up and worked around the clock. And we had it all done.
Live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark asked, do you watch the deleted scenes before or after watching the movie?
After?
Mm-hmm. Don't you?
If I watch them at all.
That's true. Sometimes we don't. But when we do, it is after.
Commentary. Yeah.
Let's see.
We do watch deleted scenes. We watch the Deadpool deleted scenes, I think.
Yeah.
It just depends on if we enjoy the movie enough to watch it.
Yeah. If we're willing to continue on.
Yeah.
Jamie asked Ant-Man 2.
Ant-Man 2. Haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
No, I want to. Right?
No, we don't have it.
I thought we
don't have it yet. Ant-Man 1 was one of the last ones that came into the collection. It was just like a couple of months ago when we re-enrolled to the Disney Movie Club. And Ant-Man 2.
Is it cat hair?
No, I think it's from the Santa Hats.
Oh.
Ant-Man 2, like I want to see, but I don't want to see it for $25 or whatever it's going to cost me to buy it at this moment.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's a question for you. Top 5 movies from the year you were born.
I would have to look that up. Alien,
like the movie.
So 79, yeah. Alien, I think it's 79. Can you open up a new tab, movies of 79?
Yep.
Because that's a good question. Okay, let's see. Alien, yes, that's going to be in there. Life of Brian, Mad Max, The Jerk. Star Trek The Motion Picture. Star Trek The Motion Picture takes a ton of crap from people. I think it's a fantastic movie. In the spirit of Gene Roddenberry's message. I'm sorry. This is my wrestler. I'm channeling my inner wrestler.
Points a lot.
I do. Harrison Ford points a lot, though, so maybe I'm just channeling my inner Harrison Ford.
Your whole hand. No,
it belongs in a museum. My whole hand. Let's see. Rocky 2 was my year. Ooh, Moonraker. Oh, man. I'm supposed to pick 5 from this? Black Hole.
You should do a video on it.
I should do a video
on it. Or do a write-up on your site.
I should do a video on it. Will you help me remember that needs to go in the X-Men notebook? Well, let me tell you something, brother.
I think that's all the questions.
But Harrison Ford does do a lot of this.
He does.
That can't be all the questions. Can it?
It looks like it.
Oh. We did it.
Well, it is 4:16, so
okay.
There you go.
Praying hands. Thank you. Krampus messed me up. Saw it 2 years ago. Krampus is fun.
Yeah, we watched that with with Lindy.
Yep. You've said her name on a live stream now.
No, but I haven't showed a picture of her.
Okay.
She has a name.
I know. Okay.
You can make up a name to call her.
Well, I used to call her Mini Midnight.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
But it's all out there now.
There are pictures of her on Instagram. Like, it's okay.
YouTube is very, like, I had to sign this thing on YouTube about, like, are there minors in your video? And if they are they consensual minors? Do you know these minors? And the weird part is they're talking about, like miners, like coal miners, which I thought was weird.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think...
Yeah.
I think we've done it.
Well, I feel...
Well, Jamie asked, Santa gifts wrapped or unwrapped?
All gifts are wrapped.
Well, yeah. Well, growing up in my house, Santa gifts were not wrapped. But now we wrap everything. Except for, I don't think you have to wrap stocking stuffers. But you do. You wrap them.
I like being able to open things. Somebody just asked a question about Lord of the Rings. But I will also say, did Jamie ask that question?
Yes, he did.
So, knowing what you know about me and my upbringing, we didn't do Santa. Santa did not visit my house. So everything was wrapped anyway. But it's like a hard question to answer. But like everything was wrapped. Always wrapped. I think even my stocking stuffers were wrapped. But
see, that's the difference.
Tanya thinks that you're lovely.
Oh, thank you. Santa came to my house, so that's why they weren't wrapped.
Yeah.
Santa doesn't have time to wrap presents.
But the elves
they're just coming out of his bag. No, they make the presents. Nobody said they wrapped them. Maybe somewhere it says they wrapped them.
Okay, so that's a Christmas technicality though, because then like do the elves make 3DSs? And like, do the elves make they manufacture that and have like trademarked boxes and everything with like
They
copyrighted
totally
artwork on it. Okay. Okay.
They do. They make everything.
But in our house, Santa tends to wrap everything. Doesn't he?
Yes, Santa wraps everything.
Because that's what
I don't wrap things I put in stockings.
But that's what Kurt Russell would do.
But Heath does. That's what Kurt Russell would do.
That's what Kurt Russell.
That's
Kurt
our
Russell
question
Santa
for
wraps
everything. What would Kurt Russell do?
That's true.
That's how you know. See, somebody said on Elf they made Etch-a-Sketches. The elves did.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Let's do this till That's right. That's right. You guys know though. You notice how Harrison Ford does this a lot. Mm-hmm. He's like, he doesn't make that. He doesn't make that noise.
You just added that in.
Yeah.
For effect.
I was trying to think of like Han Solo quotes, and I can't think of it.
Oh no!
This one goes here.
Somebody said
that one goes there.
There's no Santa. There is.
There's totally a Santa, but he didn't come to my house.
But he didn't visit Heath because Heath was on the naughty list.
Yeah, apparently so.
Only Heath's parents would give him presents.
It's from all those cartoons that I was trying to watch that I wasn't supposed to see.
Who are you allowed to?
Yeah.
Santa knows.
Santa knows everything. Mm-hmm. Santa's a butthole.
Somebody else is on the naughty list, so.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it, man. Let's go till 4:30 for us.
Okay, so we have 10
cool?
minutes.
10 minutes. 10-minute warning. 10-minute warning. The live stream will be ending in 10 minutes. Okay. Well, I saw a Lord of the Rings thing.
Oh,
I bet you've missed so many questions.
I've tried really hard. This is hard to do. If I missed your question and it's really important to you, post it again right now.
Yes. If we missed something, we didn't answer it, post it again.
Someone said, if you think
minutes.
they will do a Lord of the Rings movie about what happens to the hobbits when they go back to the Shire.
I don't know, with this whole Amazon thing going on. I don't know. It was interesting that they left it out of the movies, though. Like the Hobbit movie, there's like a whole thing after, the Lord of the Rings too, right? Like there's... I'm not as up to speed on some of that as I should be. But yeah, I know that they left the Return to the Shire out. And then like the Sackville Bagginses. And, you know, you've never read the books. Sorry.
It's a secret. I don't know how to read.
I never learned to read. Wayne's World. Wayne's World 2.
Someone asked.
Did we?
What
okay.
we did answer.
Okay, that was the Hobbit question.
That was the question. Okay. It was, yeah.
I just want to answer that question over and over and over again.
Okay, I'll keep asking
for the next
it. I'll ask it again. Jamie called me out. How do you know I'm a teacher, Jamie? But I am. Yes, I'm a teacher. But I teach Spanish, so I can read in Spanish, but not in English. So that's why I haven't read.
Why haven't you read The Lord of the Rings? Is it the
I
commitment?
don't know. I think it's that.
It is a commitment.
It is a commitment, and I think I just feel I don't feel smart enough to understand Lord of the Rings. It seems very daunting to me.
But you're the smartest person that I know. And
That's
you have
sweet,
a master,
but you don't know everybody.
She has a master's degree, and she is literally the most educated person I have ever known. She has won an award for her level of skill. So I
want to now be known as the award-winning Spanish teacher, Bree Holland.
It's true though. And so why do you feel that you're not smart enough for the Lord of the Rings? And you've seen the movies too, so you know what a lot of this stuff is. Like if they're like,
I'd probably be able to now, having seen the movies. But it's just I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. So many. I don't know. I think it's daunting. I think that's what. Well, that's what I said. It's daunting.
It's just they're huge books. The appendices are like 715 pages.
It's easier for me to say, I'm not smart enough to read that.
I tried to read the annotated Hobbit a couple of years ago because I'm a Hobbit fan and I can blow through the Hobbit in a couple of sessions because it's not a huge book. But I tried to read the annotated Hobbit a few years ago and it was tough. Mm-hmm. It was tough going. Mm-hmm. I didn't finish it. No. Still have it. I can do it anytime I want. I can do it anytime I want to, man.
Rob asked, have you tried the maple Cheerios?
No.
I have not, but we should because we love Cheerios and I love maple.
I bet it's not real maple.
I'm sure it's not. That's part of my
artificial
problem,
maple flavoring.
Ugh. What was it I was trying to eat? Oh, the cinnamon Jif. The cinnamon peanut butter Jif.
Has no cinnamon in it.
Cinnamon in it.
It's artificial. How hard is it to put cinnamon in peanut butter?
Like, we could just do it ourselves. We don't need cinnamon Jif.
But that's the thing that they sell here in America.
Artificial.
Is cinnamon Jif peanut butter. And it says, like, artificial cinnamon flavoring, basically. So, no, like, it's cinnamon. Like, it's a powdered form. It doesn't spoil. It's a powder. How do you mess that up?
Maybe we're missing something. We don't produce food products for resale.
Well, we should.
Yeah, let's add that to our list of things to do.
Emo Anakin. Well, we should. Obi-Wan would be very grumpy if he knew that I was eating cinnamon.
Gets everywhere.
Cinnamon peanut butter with no cinnamon in it.
I'm trying to find another question.
Of course.
Have you?
It's rough. It gets everywhere.
Have you seen a film called Runway with Tom Selleck?
Runaway? Is it Runaway? Yeah, Runaway.
I'm sorry.
Like a long time ago. That's one that I want to. I think there's an Australian Blu-ray or somewhere has a Blu-ray, and I need to add it to my collection so that I can revisit that movie. I'm gonna be doing a video hopefully this week, if it happens, on importing movies, because I've done a lot of importing, and somebody actually asked for it. Actually, a few people have asked for that. So that is one that I want to import. Tom Selleck is amazing in everything. Tom Selleck is great. He's not Kurt Russell great, but Tom Selleck's
It's really hard to be Kurt Russell great.
Pretty sweet.
I think you like Kurt Russell more than me.
No.
I'm just kidding. I forgot. Oh, your favorite Bond movie. Do you have one?
You know, for a long time, it changes. Surprise, it changes.
Who knew?
When I was younger, it was GoldenEye, because GoldenEye was the first one that I got to see theatrically. And if you're about my age, you might remember that between Timothy Dalton, like the Timothy Dalton thing was apparently, like, it needed to cool off for a while because it was like controversial or something. And they went kind of dark with Dalton. I like Timothy Dalton a lot. I think he's underrated as a Bond. But I think it was 6 years in between T-Daltz and Pierce Brosnan, PB. And so, like 6 years is a long time when you're, like 15 years old or whatever. Like, that's the difference between a 9-year-old and a 15-year-old. So I guess I had seen some of the T-Daltz ones on VHS, but I got to see GoldenEye in the theater, and it was amazing to me. And it was like the movie that I kind of credit as making me a Bond fan. And but as an older person, I rediscovered Bond with, like, it got silly, obviously. Like, a lot of those Pierce Brosnan movies are silly, which I think now is kind of their strength. But when Casino Royale came out with Daniel Craig, I was like, oh no, this is the best Bond ever. This is the best Bond ever. But now, as an adult in my almost 40s, I think that there's a strong argument between either Dr. No or From Russia with Love as being the best Bond. And I kind of lean towards From Russia with Love. Goldfinger, iconic. Dr. No is the one that started it. The middle ground seems to be From Russia with Love. Great music. Today's answer is From Russia with Love.
I'll ask him again tomorrow.
And it will be Thunderball. Yeah, because of the Tom Jones song.
Well, I need to shout out to Jamie Mason, who said Cinnamon Checks is good. Yes.
Yeah.
Love Cinnamon Checks.
Hopefully with real cinnamon in it.
I haven't checked. I'm scared to check because it's really good and I like it.
Spy Who Loved Me. I like, Tanya, I love all the Bonds. I don't love all the Bonds. I love most of the Bonds. And so, that's like, it just depends on what day of the week you get me and if I've just watched something. I used to kind of hold, I'm going to stop talking because this is a video that I did a video review, like a quick video thing about Live and Let Die. And I meant to do more Bond movie videos, and I kind of got away from it. So this is my incentive to get back on the Bond videos.
Jamie asked, do we ever go away for the holidays or just stay home? And I guess
we usually stay here.
We usually do. We've talked about going away. This year, Jamie, we're coming to visit you.
Yes.
Get ready. We're bringing the cats too. It'll be fun. We've talked about going to like, what is that?
I don't know.
Is that your cat hairball? We talked about going to Disney over Christmas, but it's so crowded.
Yeah.
So crowded.
It's the busiest time of the year to go.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas. Between like December like 18th and like the 31st, it's the busiest time of the year. Mm-hmm. The whole no, he's not there. So he's basically telling us
so sweet.
that
It's like Airbnb.
Yeah, so he's just going to leave the key under the mat.
Awesome. Okay.
That's what I take from that. And I don't think I'm wrong.
Let's see.
Dr. Noah's not bad. Who said Dr. Noah's bad?
Mm-hmm.
Listen. Dr. Noah establishes a whole lot about Mr. Bond. And it has some really cool set pieces. And it has Ursula Andress in it. And it has... It's 4:30. Well, I don't want to end on telling somebody that Dr. Noah's not bad. Boredom Strikes wants to tell us hello. Hello, Boredom Strikes.
Somebody asked what state we're in.
Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama.
Great state of Alabama.
Hey, wait, don't put Alabama
down. No, I like Alabama. You're the one who puts Alabama down more than I do.
Do I?
Yes.
How?
You talk about how horrible it is here.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Oh, my Lord.
It's okay. Maybe I misunderstood.
Everywhere, listen.
Maybe I misunderstood. Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere has their ups and downs.
Yeah.
Everywhere has their pros and cons. I love Alabama for the natural beauty. I think we're the most...
we do have a lot of nature.
One of, if not the most, open green spaces of any state in the USA. Mm-hmm. And that's cool. And also I love... there's a lot of history here. There's a lot of bad history, of course. But there's also a lot of, like, cool history. Like a lot of the... Yeah. So, I mean, it just depends on, like...
Your perspective and where you are.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love being here. I've grown up in the South, and I don't know that I'd be happier anywhere else.
Someone said they heard that Southern accent.
Oh, yeah.
Which is funny, because we do have one, but not nearly as bad as many people here.
Yeah.
No.
If I were to do... So this is how I would... When I was a kid, this is how I talked. For real. And it just kind of went away. Like, I remember being in high school and being like, I can't keep talking like this. There was a video that I made in my senior project. We had to do a senior project video. And it was Robin Hood in the 70s was our video. So that's a little Gomer. It's a little too Gomer. I wasn't quite that bad. But it's so Southern, you guys. Like, I'm like, there's going to be a dancing competition. And we're going to have to go dance and see who's going to be the winner. And this is marked on video. Also marked on video, here's a throwback, I'm pointing again. It was talking about, at the beginning of the live stream, we talked about driving Route 66. I made a 30-minute like documentary about our trip through Route 66, and I've often thought about uploading it to the channel. But it's kind of... music off. I'd have to take the music off because it's wall-to-wall classic American 50s and 60s music. And also, it's not really what Serial at Midnight is about. I mean, obviously, it's me, and this I am Serial at Midnight, so I guess it is. The wanderlust and like the travel. We don't do as much traveling as we used to just because of like car problems and stuff. But we used to go somewhere all the time. We've been everywhere, and we would do a lot of photo documentary and video documentary. So there's a 30-minute Route 66 documentary of that footage. So if you're interested in that, I guess let me know, and we'll see what happens. What? Kung Fury? I've seen Kung Fury. I don't remember much about it. That's anticlimactic. It is. Like, I've seen it and I don't really remember it. I think I've seen Kung Fury. Now I'm doubting myself.
Now you're unsure.
Now I'm unsure.
You'll have to check.
Geriatric Geek is in Las Vegas. So, okay, I want to ask Geriatric Geek, as a Vegas resident, pros and cons, right? Like, there's all this cool stuff there as far as acts, like performing acts that'll come, and you've got the desert, and you've got like really beautiful panoramas and stuff. But there's got to be some downsides to it too, right? Like, you probably get tired of certain aspects of that. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I just being like difficult?
Just assuming.
Yeah, am I assuming? What countries do we like to travel to?
So would you like to travel?
Oh, would we? Well, we've been to Spain, we've been to England, we've been to Mexico. You've been to Canada. You've been everywhere. You've been everywhere.
I've not been everywhere.
You've been everywhere. You're like that Johnny Cash song.
I've also been to France and Morocco and Cuba. Italy.
She's been to
I've been
Cuba.
to Italy, yes.
Recently.
Well, this summer I'm going to Ecuador.
Yeah. And I am not.
So, where would we like to go?
I would like to go back to England.
Yeah.
And I would like to train ride up to Scotland.
Yeah.
I would like to go.
Japan.
Yes. Japan.
Yeah.
Definitely. Tokyo specifically. Tokyo Disney. Is it still called Tokyo Disney, or did they change? Is it something else now?
I think it is.
Disney Sea.
Yeah.
Is there too? I still have some places I want to go back to in America too. Like, I really want to get back to the California coast. Disneyland. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything else you want to... There's still some questions.
Yeah. Do you consider Cobra a Christmas movie?
I haven't watched Cobra in a while. Are there Christmas elements to Cobra? I don't. No, the answer is no. I don't shop here.
This person said, tell us more about your love for Kino Lorber and their upcoming titles.
I love Kino Lorber. I am not sure what's coming out upcoming from them. I have asked to be added to their press release mailing list and have yet to get a response back, so we will see. I will tell you this. This is live stream tidbit. I reached out to Mill Creek early, like several months ago, probably 6 months, probably longer than that. One of the reasons that I like to champion Mill Creek is that they've been very open and generous with cereal at midnight. They're really good people. I really do believe in their product, and I have had wonderful experiences with Mill Creek behind the scenes. Experiences that I haven't had with any of these other people. And I've tried, I've reached out to several of them, and you just don't hear anything back. It's like you just tossed your request just into the four winds. Yeah. So Kino Lorber, I really like their stuff. There are some quality issues with some of this stuff. Like I've mentioned the Leone Good, the Bad, and the Ugly trilogy here. They didn't make it. They're just a distributor. But there's a studio or a remastering plant or whatever that remastered for a few dollars more. What's the name of the first? A Fistful of Dollars, for a few dollars more, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And they have they're weirdly hued, tinted. They're like green heavy, blue-green heavy in a way that I don't think the originals ever were. So you do have to kind of be careful with some of that Kino Lorber stuff, but if you do your research and you read reviews, yeah. But I do love Kino Lorber. I think they're a fantastic distributor. They're putting out things, they have access to things that other people aren't putting out. Don't seem interested in putting out. The Master, for one, I don't know who would have put that out if they hadn't put it out. Shout Factory would not have put that out. I can't imagine they would have. Yeah.
Okay. Well, someone is looking forward to your Kiss collection video.
Kiss collection video, yeah. I forgot about that.
Well, now you've been reminded. You
I
can do
haven't.
it.
So what's the other thing I'm supposed to be reminded about? There was something else too. See?
Uh-oh.
I've already forgotten. Oh my gosh. I do need to make it. So the Kiss, I don't have a ton of Kiss stuff.
Oh, wait. Was it your collection video? Or was
I don't
it?
think that
No,
was
it was
it.
a different one. something you can make a video about. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Don't worry.
I don't have a ton of Kiss stuff. It's mostly like I have some of the vinyl, and I have most of their CDs, and I have the Kiss Compendium graphic novel collection, and that might be about it. And I have the Star Child Migo. But it's mostly music. And that's we're still going.
We just got reminded.
Thank you.
5 movies.
Let's top 5 of 79. Here. Let's
I'm gonna write it. No, I'm gonna write it down on my sticky.
Top 5 movies of night.
Okay, so we've got.
I feel like I'm juggling a lot of balls right now. That sounded like That sounded like a Deadpool. I feel like I'm juggling a lot of balls right now.
Okay. We're caught up now.
I need something to say, so I'm not just. We're not just being quiet.
Are you going to see Kiss on the End of the Road tour?
Yes, we are. Mm-hmm. We have tickets. Mm-hmm. We're not doing the VIP experience. Pointing again.
Tim's feeling deja vu. I think it's probably time to start.
Yeah.
We're wrapping it up.
Yep. Okay. We're wrapping it up. We're winding down. I saw something
about.
It might be further down. No, go down.
Okay.
Let's see.
What was it about?
I don't remember now.
Okay.
Because I was vamping. Corvette Summer. What's the context for Corvette Summer? I like Corvette Summer. I wrote a review of Corvette Summer at fthismovie.net. So if you go there, I have written about Corvette Summer. I think that's a super cool Mark Hamill movie. Annie Potts is adorable in that movie. Do you know Annie Potts?
I know I would.
She's Ghostbusters. She's the receptionist in Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah.
Annie Potts. Oh my goodness, she's like a prostitute in that movie or something, but she is just the best. And they were in a car accident towards the end of that movie, so she's got like this limp at the end of the movie, and she's just like it's just this feisty limping watch that movie. I'm pointing again. Watch that movie and don't adore Annie Potts, and I will ask you how do you do that?
Mm-hmm. Somebody said we're beautiful together. Okay. Now what?
I don't know.
Okay.
21 grand if you want Paul's guitar. Yeah. Let me tell you something, people. I'm gonna sell my guitar. Okay. Nobody asked for that, but you got it anyway. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Tell you something, people. Make a lot of money off my guitar. And some cold gin.
Why don't we say this is our last question?
Okay.
If you could have anything from your childhood, what would it be? That's a hard question.
That's a deep, hard question.
Tough, man.
It's a Deadpool. That's a deep, hard question. X-Files. I kind of want to know what happened to my Optimus Prime because it disappeared. I had an Optimus Prime, and then I didn't have it anymore, and I don't know what happened to it. But that seems superficial. It seems like maybe I should go for something deeper, more meaningful. Like
what?
Well, the dignity of an 8-year-old who believes in the power of the human heart.
The innocence.
The innocence
of childhood.
Of never having seen any cool cartoon from
trusting people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's probably not what they want to know.
No, I'm sure that's not what they want to know.
I'm going to go with Optimus Prime because I don't know what happened to my Optimus Prime. Mm-hmm. It just disappeared.
I have 2 things.
Okay.
I would want my original Care Bears collection back, which you recreated for me.
That's
but
true.
My collection was gone.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
I do not. I don't think.
No, but I just mean like you say I recreated it for you.
Oh, so...
She had Care Bears.
I had saved my Care Bears. I had a whole collection, like all of them from my childhood. And I had them, but then someone got rid of them, gave them away. And so Heath searched and found all the ones that I had and got them for me. Yeah.
Because I love you.
Because you do. That's right. You do. Clearly. And I would also want my Sailor Moon stuff back.
Yeah.
I had Sailor Moon VHSs and toys and I want those back. I don't know what happened to them. So
I burned them all.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess that's it. So guys, thank you. This is the longest live stream of the 3 that we've done so far. This is really cool. I was really concerned that nobody was going to show up because the announcement video did not get like a ton of traction or views. So I didn't know who would be here. So thank you for showing up. I do appreciate you guys so very much. And I also want to say, whatever you celebrate this month, towards the end of the month, happy holidays, whatever it is.
We're doing Hanukkah now.
Yes, if you happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Festivus, Kwanzaa, whatever it is that
Christmas,
you celebrate.
Winter, solstice.
That's
Enjoy them all.
Enjoy them all. We really do appreciate you guys. We love you. Thank you so much. We'll do it again soon. Do we want to try to do this once a month or what? We'll talk about it.
Yeah. I think we could do that. Totally.
Yeah. But I will catch you guys this week during the week, and I don't know what's coming for sure yet because I have filmed nothing yet. So
we have filmed this.
We have filmed this. Yeah. we have filmed this. All of this. So guys, thank you very much. We appreciate you guys, and we will catch you praying Johnny Depp praying hands. And we will catch you later.